There's the thumbnail right there.
No, I'm not used to this, and I don't do this well, because some got in my tree and died.
It's blue, man.
Whoa, man. It's blue.
That's an interesting relationship here. What Chris doesn't tell you is that he gets to work with a child. I'm the child. You've earned it, buddy. So the SnapOn guy just left. It's so hard to say no and not spend money.
Did you tell him what I did? It's the SnapOn set of pliers. I'll show you the plier. But that's the plier, and apparently it went wild on TikTok. Had a couple million views where they were picking up coins on the side. So a coin has a lip, like a tiny lip right there on that edge, and they were picking it up. Ooh, see, I almost did that one. Cool. But that's how grippy this thing really is. So anyways, I told him, I said, if you pick up that coin off the lip, I'll buy a pair. Sure enough, dude picked it up. I'm like, all right. Sometimes it costs you money to keep good business relationships, and that cost me a little bit of money.
$50.
But, you know, I need that guy to come around, so.
Quality tools for Chris. When the Harbor Freight guy comes around, let me know.
And Pretty Vinny.
Yeah, and Pretty Vinny.
I made him buy a pair too.
The tools that they're buying. All right, guys, so what up? Welcome to today's episode. Very special one today. SNS has sent us a couple of boxes here, so SNS.
I like how that stickers on the side.
SNS.
Show them the backside.
So they wanted to put a sticker on it. I just drew it. Look at that. There's the thumbnail right there.
No.
SNS, proof of performance. It was a blank box, so I had to write
Tell
on
them
it.
what's in that box, though.
In today's episode, we are working on Chris's 2023 Harley-Davidson Road Glide.
Nothing special, no special frills. As a matter of fact, it's got a 107 engine. I don't really know how to explain bikes. I'm not a salesman. I don't do that stuff. I just fix them. The way I would call this is the lesser priced model.
Yeah, bare bones.
This is the more economically
Well,
viable
you did
model.
get the upgraded.
I did,
Yeah.
but I don't have ABS.
Oh, okay.
I did not get ABS. No, I did that partly for a reason. Got this model as a bare bones model with no ABS because we were intending on doing a bunch of stuff to this anyways.
Yes.
And so now, I guess with that prelude, I feel blessed.
We have a really good relationship with SNS. We use their parts on all of our bikes. Little shop banner, whoop, right there. We're doing a 1250 Hooligan kit on this chopper over here in Goldzilla. I've got a lot of their parts. We've got an Upper Guardian kit. We've got the SNS 590 cam plate, oil pump.
Got a cam chest kit.
Yeah.
You got a bunch of stuff in yours too.
Tons of SNS stuff. Like, we thrash on their stuff quite a bit, and it performs great. We've used their stuff on a lot of customers' bikes. So my contact at SNS, I was talking to him, and he's like, hey, we're looking to put together and sell a 132 performance package. Do you guys have any M8s that you're potentially working on that you'd be interested in doing this to? And I'm like, actually, Chris just got a Road Glide. And I was like, I think I did it unannounced in a video. I was like, in a video coming up.
Yeah, and I wasn't even sure if that was real.
Yeah.
So that whole, like, that's my excited face or whatever the hell cut got put in it.
Just found out about is we are getting him a SNS 132.
Whoa. I'm excited. That's my excited face. Yeah, that was a legit reaction because I was like, wait a minute, are you for real?
Yeah.
Like, y'all missed that.
He thought I was fucking with him, that he was getting a 132. So
Yeah, I
but
did.
here it is.
So yeah, that's me feeling blessed. I'm not used to this, and I don't do this well.
You've earned it, buddy.
I feel, you know, I see people say that, and I see that in comments. I say, have a blessed day, I feel blessed, whatever. And you know, it's kind of superficial to me, but this, yeah, I feel kind of special.
A little backstory behind that. So Chris, he's had a twin cam for the longest time, but he works on Milwaukee 8s all day, every day. Like, it's...
Well, 26 years of doing this,
Yeah.
and I've never built an engine for myself.
Yeah, it's pretty
Like,
much what
not
we
a lot.
do here is like I mean, with the modern M8 stuff, it's most of what we see in the shop. Got a 143 Milwaukee 8 there. We've got a Milwaukee 8 over here. This is a twin cam, and then
Well, so's that.
twin cam as well. So, but I would say for the most part, what, like,
We build a lot of M8s.
yeah, he basically builds them, but he doesn't have one of his own. So he decided to basically get a Road Glide M8 platform, 107 standard, and then it was like, okay, cool. Well, whenever SNS was like, you got any bikes that you'd want to do this 132 kit to? I was like, hell yeah, let's do it with Chris. And since it is a 107, a lot of you guys might be questioning, like, you can't do the big bore kit and make a 107 into the 132 unless what?
You change the flywheel.
Which is
right here.
this heavy fucking box right here.
It's 4.5 inch stroke flywheel. that they sent to us to pair with the 132 kit so that it is a true 132.
So as of us recording this, the 132 power package from S&S is not available, but whenever you guys see this, it should be available. So be sure to check out the link down in the description below if you guys are interested in purchasing this. As of you guys seeing this, the kit should be available. If you're interested in booking service with us, hit us up, blockheadgarage.com or blockheadmoto.com. I'll put you in touch with Justin.
Email.
Yeah, give us a shout, and we'll get you on the schedule.
We did have to add a couple additional components just because of the size of this.
Yeah, for sure.
It's Harley's new Screaming Eagle 68mm throttle body. So this will be kind of exciting because this has just come out. I don't think there's hardly any content, and I don't think we haven't used one yet. So I'm kind of curious to see what we get out of this. And just as a disclaimer, we are going to retain my stock heads. So we're going to force as much as we possibly can through the stock heads. And then as we like to do at some point, we'll do some head work and then we'll see the increase at that point.
All right, so let's go ahead and unbox this stuff. We'll go through all the parts piece by piece, show you guys what you're getting. So
I don't even think we know what we're getting.
Yeah, we haven't seen anything yet.
This will be interesting.
Snap on 3.
Snappy?
1, 2, 3. Wow, man. It's blue, man.
Whoa, man. It's blue. It's fucking blue, man.
I don't know, it just happened one day. Chris went outside and pointed at something. It was like, whoa, it's red.
It's not red, dude. Whoa, bro. It's not red.
It was the funniest shit ever to me. So I've just always remembered it.
It was Vinny's bike idling.
He was like pointing at it. Whoa, it's
Everybody
red.
was like making a big deal out of it, so I had to go up and be like, whoa, man. Red, dude.
Red.
Like, I didn't know what the big deal was. But
All right, guys, so this is everything that comes in the kit plus a little extra. So we're going to go over the parts that come in the kit. So you've got cylinders, cam plate, pistons. There's an actual term for these. The sleeve, and not inner sleeves, inner pins.
wrist pin?
Wrist pin. That's it. Gaskets, hardware. It is gear drive instead of chain. So we're actually going to measure the run out on the stock crank. So whenever we get it all taken down, Chris has some tools that'll measure the run out on the stock. And then we're going to replace the crank with this new one from S&S and then measure the run out on that.
And we're going to measure the run out at the end, installed.
Okay.
We're not going to do it in a stand.
Would you want to explain real quick the difference between chain drive and gear drive?
So chain, like a chain on a final drive. So there's a sprocket. This one has a gear instead of a sprocket. And normally there'd be a chain that would connect to a lower sprocket. Well, instead, you're going to have gear to gear. It's just going to be tooth to tooth. To run the gear drive, you definitely need to be within specified run out, especially for gear drive. The gear drive is not going to handle what factory says, which I believe is 12 thousandths. Gear drive you cannot run on 12 thousandths. I want to say, don't quote me on this, but I want to say it's like 5 or less, maybe even 4, that you want to use gear drive. So we will measure that, both the stock one to see where it is, and then we'll measure this one once it's installed to see where this one is at. Again, we're going to measure on the ends. We're not going to measure on the journal. And I'm not measuring this in a truing stand either. So kind of wish we did, to be honest with you, but we don't have one laying around, so it's not like I can do that. Gear drive instead of chain drive cam. It is a 550 gear driven cam instead of a chain driven cam. That's the only difference is this end. S&S is oil pump, high flow oil pump, and high flow plate, adjustable push rods. I don't know when he mentioned this before, I don't know how many of you noticed, but these are considered reverse dish. Normal piston would either be flat straight across, or it might have a potential pop up or a raised area depending on the shape of the combustion chamber and the piston that's going in it. And then the other supporting piece they sent was their 55mm ported manifold in black. And I'm going to pair that with a 68mm Screaming Eagle throttle body. Now, Blockhead and I have noted a potential pinch point, and I'll point that out for all of you. We're going to do what we do and see what we get. So starting now, if we were to line this up, if you look inside of there, that's about how much smaller the manifold is versus the throttle body.
Yeah.
So we're definitely going to have a somewhat of a flow issue, but we're not overly concerned with that today. And you know what? Let me change that up right now. Let's try to run it off a stock throttle body first, see what we get. And I'm going to use 5.5 injectors to pair this.
Okay.
And
so
we'll
basically,
see what
like
we get,
as
but
the
we're
kit
definitely
comes,
going to step up
right
to here.
Cool.
Probably with the bigger manifold as well.
Okay. So if you guys are just joining us, you haven't like seen previous videos before, what we do is like we'll install this, and then we have our own dyno room over there. Put the bike in there, get it all tuned up, and we'll show you guys the power numbers so you see exactly what you're getting from unboxing to install to custom tune.
I don't think they've seen the new addition to the room.
No, you want to show them?
Go ahead. No, you give it.
No.
I like your story better.
So we built this awesome dyno room. At the very end of it, Chris decided he wanted to put a fake tree in it, which just looked terrible to me. A rat or a mouse or something ended up...
Something got in it.
Died in the fake tree, which ended up stinking a lot. So Chris took the fake tree and he threw it away.
I had to. Block thought he was winning
I didn't
when
think
I
I
was
was winning.
taking the tree out. He got so happy. He was like, yeah.
I was like, what are you doing? I just accepted it. Like
and
you
I'm
accepted
like-
the 2-post lift.
That, true.
That's an interesting
And so-
relationship here.
So I was like really bummed. I was kind of sad. And I told him,
He
I
just
said, you
wanted a
win.
tree in here.
I
for
said, you
some
win.
reason.
Unfortunately, whatever, karmically, you won. Because some got in my tree and died. Saw the hole and
Took it
smelled
straight to the dumpster.
Yep, straight to the dumpster. So, with that being said, I came across something we've had here for about a year and
a
a
while, just sitting in a
half,
bag
maybe.
under a shelf.
Unfortunately, yeah. Because it's usually seasonal type thing. So, there it is. I decided, you know what? It's going to be Christmas all year round.
Dyno presents for everyone.
It's
Horsepower
fucking
presents.
Christmas all year round.
Yeah. Yep, we've got a Dyno Christmas tree.
I feel like it makes it feel a little homey.
You know what? I'm less upset about that than I am the fake looking tree. So
The ficus.
yeah, that's a good looking tree,
Yeah, it works. It actually is somewhat appealing when you stand back here and just glance in.
right?
It's welcoming.
You guys leave a comment down below. Let us know what you think of the Dyno Room
And
Christmas tree.
We intend, I say we because this came from Vinny and apparently it's a family deal. We intend to decorate it for each holiday. Now, I will say this disclaimer. I don't think it'll happen. It might happen one time and that's it.
Yeah.
But let's see what happens.
I say, since we've just announced that to the community, why don't we choose something that we're pulling off of this bike, turn it into an ornament, and hang it on the tree?
We can do that.
Yeah.
We can do that.
There's just like a cam plate like sitting in this tree. So before we do all this installation and show you guys the whole process, just to let y'all know what you're getting for your cost in terms of horsepower and torque, a stock 107 has what horsepower, torque?
If you were to pull it in 6th gear, about the biggest numbers we see usually is about 100, 101 foot-pounds of torque, and mid 70s horsepower, so 75, 77, 73, just depends on the pole.
Okay.
But mid 70s horsepower and about 100 foot-pounds. And it cuts off, the speed limiter limits it at about 110 and a half,
Yeah.
112 depending on the motorcycle.
So it's going to be a massive difference before and after
Yeah.
with this kit and the tune.
I do have the pulse from the engine as it sits now.
What is it?
So we can always use that and what we get over that.
So you got a stage 2 on it right now, right?
There is a 475 in there, thank you to SNS. And we've got a Sawicki mid-length. I want to say it's about 123 foot-pounds, 124 foot-pounds, and right at 110 horsepower right now. We're gonna pull that engine out.
So pretty. I'm touching all of it.
Yeah, I see that.
What Chris doesn't tell you is that he gets to work with a child. I'm the child.
I think people see that.
They do.
Its farthest swing, let's see, we're at 0. We're at 0, and then as we turn, our farthest swing is what, 6. So 6 thousandths is our run out. As we spin this and you watch it go round and round, you'll kind of see that that is 6. Okay. Now that we've established that that is 6, that is the stock crank. 6 thousandths run out in the case. Now back to time-lapse. Hey guys, I'm jumping back into the time-lapse. Blockhead came out while I was doing this and asked me if I had shown the flywheels or the differences between the flywheels, and I looked at him like, no. this, I guess, would probably be my last opportunity to kind of show any of these things. So Vinny just asked me something. What'd you ask me?
Why is there brass bushings in here over the stock one?
So the stock one, he's asking why there's a brass bushing in the SNS one, and this one has no bushing. So this is known as parent material. It's a parent material connecting rod and bearing surface. This one has a bushing. So basically what would happen is if anything detrimental or even just like some kind of metal particulate or debris got into this engine and went through the oiling system, on parent material, you can't replace this. This whole rod is one piece. I mean, that can definitely be pressed out and replaced, but that's a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of material. So it's easier as a manufacturer to throw the whole thing in the trash. Whereas this one, if particulate were to get into this and get in here and oblong this, you can replace this bushing and continue using this entire assembly. This flywheel is far superior for a few reasons, one of which we just discussed. It has a brass bushing in it. What I was gonna look for was the pin, which you can barely see through this bearing. That is the crank pin. This is the pin. This is the crank pin. This is just literally like a swedged plug. There's nothing in this. It's hollow. That one over there has what's known as a plug in it. What they've done, this pin is pressed into this flywheel at give or take 20 tons. Whether I'm right or wrong on that is irrelevant. That's a lot of pressure that they use to assemble this flywheel. And by doing that, it holds the flywheels square to each other, right? So everything stays nice and round and true. And these wheels are equal. They're square this way and they're square this way. This is really hard to do while I'm holding the camera, but when they scissor, the flywheels separate. So this one moves this way and this one moves that way, right? That's called scissoring. Toe in, toe out, that's an issue. Scissoring's an issue. That all creates out of round, which makes this not stay straight or center line. That one over there, this has been plugged, meaning this hollow crank pin had a piece of metal shoved in it, which causes this pin to expand. As it expands, it locks itself into this wheel and makes those wheels more durable than these wheels. You can also get that welded. There are companies out there. Dark Horse offers a plug and weld service, so they not only do they swedge it with a plug, then they weld this up. Those are not welded, but they are plugged. They are also lighter. This is considered a full top rod. Notice that this is the same diameter all the way through, whereas this one is not. If you notice, this is cut down. It's also, again, it's parent material. This is definitely not as strong as that. This can also handle a lot more abuse than that can handle safely. So now we're going to take run out of these wheels as we did those wheels. But before I do that, I have to bolt the primary up and torque the compensator so that we replicate the same condition that we took the measurement under that one. Now this is installed, comp is torqued. We are starting at top, and it looks like we are 1/1000th. We're 1/1000th out. That is more than acceptable for gear drive. If you remember, stock was 6 out. This one out of the box is 1. Not bad, SNS, not bad at all. What is up, Block fam? This is, what is today? It's Monday. Might get a little noisy in here because we walked into the Dyno Room. Now, keep in mind, before I go too far, right now, currently there is a stock throttle body in here. These are stock heads. These are not ported. Nothing has been done to the heads other than the valve spring. This is the kit as it comes. This is what you should expect, give or take. 140.845 and 129.81. So 148 and 130. So I started to pull right about 2,500. At 2,500, I'm pretty close to 140. Yeah, we do have a slight torque dip. We do have a shorter than full length pipe. that is helping, but it is also hindering just a little bit. But we're peaking right about 4,000. Once we hit, what, 3250, we're above 140. And I'm living that for a good while. Now, my horsepower side is lacking just a little bit, but again, stock throttle body, 55mm ported manifold in here with 5.5 injectors, but we have stock heads. What I'm going to do now is we're going to step this up. This throttle body, we're going to put a Harley 68mm throttle body in here, along with a 68mm ported manifold. Now, just to give you guys a heads up, I did not know this till I bought it. The 68mm throttle body does not fit cleanly on a stock or oversized manifold. The bolt pattern is just a little bit larger. Why they did that, I'll never know, but just know that I did have to modify the throttle body.
A few moments later.
This is where I landed. 150.82, so 151, and 132.59, so we'll round up 151 and 133. I like to round up, especially because it's my bike. These two numbers are a result of stock heads. These have not been modified in any way, shape, or form. The valve springs were replaced to handle the lift of the cam, but that's it. I put on the 68mm manifold.
No way, no.
Had to modify that a little bit. I matched it to a 64mm manifold.
Yes, it was.
Again, I did port match that manifold and bring it up to 68.
Similar story happened to a teacher in the Florida area.
I also opened the elbow, about this much of the elbow, because it does flare out here. So right to about here, we open that up to, I opened that up to 70, just for the hell of it. Anyhow, that is not a bad number. If you want to do this same setup and you happen to be running your stock heads, is it really worth the money to buy the 68mm throttle body versus the stock 55? And again, we're running 5.5 injectors. I may, depending on how you guys feel, I may do some content on just injectors. Maybe we step it up to 6.2s, maybe 6.3s, 5.8s. I mean, add a little bit here and see what happens. All right, y'all, so there you go. That's the 132 install. Power numbers, I thought it came out pretty badass. Like, comment, subscribe, do all those fun things that I don't remember to tell you people what to do. Get your mom involved, get your grandma involved, get everybody involved. Do it at the dinner room,
Get the whole
dining room
family
table.
involved.
The whole family in this thing. Anyway, so bikes evolving little by little every day. So hope you guys are enjoying this, following along, and again, I hope you enjoyed that install.